Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this quick and easy sticky note holder using the Beautiful Wings die. This easel project folds down flat for storage. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. For this project, I'm going to start by scoring my Mint Macron cardstock strip. I'm going to score it at the 2 1/4 inch mark and the 3 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm ready to set my board to the side. Next, I'm going to do the stamping. I am going to bring in this cute little sentiment that says a little note. I think it's perfect for the Post-it note project, and I'm going to stamp this in basic gray on my basic white piece of cardstock. You want to be careful with the small stamps not to rock them too much. And I'm going to bring in my punch here, and I am going to punch my sentiment. I'm putting it slightly to the left because I want to add a jewel to this sentiment, and I want there to be plenty of space. And then I'm going to bring in my Mint Macron, and I'm going to punch out the scallop oval with that. Next, I'm going to bring in my designer series paper that I've cut out using my butterfly die. I'm using this die along with the detail die that I have cut out in basic gray. And of course, you can tell which die you would like simply by laying that on top, and you can coordinate the pieces like that. I'm also going to bring in a piece of our designer series paper and another piece of my Mint Macron. So now I'm ready to start assembling. I am going to first look for this larger piece that I've scored, and I'm going to add adhesive to that. I like to add adhesive to this longer piece rather than the shorter piece because it simply allows me to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes. I'm going to adhere that smaller piece on top of that, lining up the edges. And then I'm going to fold it and fold again. And I can use my bone folder for this to make these nice and sharp. Now that I have my easel portion done, I'm ready to add my designer series paper. And I'm going to add that right onto the top of that panel we just adhered. And then I'm going to take my oval and adhere this little sentiment to it. Since I'm using multi-purpose liquid adhesive, I'm going to add my butterfly to the designer series paper piece also so that it has some dry time before I use it on my project. I'm going to line up that basic gray right down the center there onto the designer series butterfly. Now I'm ready to go back to my project, and I'm going to add this little sentiment to the top and just center it there on the designer series paper. There we go. Next, I'm going to open this up and add my Post-it note. So I'm simply going to adhere this down with a little adhesive. I'm going to open it all the way, and I'm going to make sure that I've got about even margins here on the 3 sides. That allows for my Post-it note easel to slip right behind it and stand. Next, I'm going to add one of our genial gems to the sentiment. I'm going to do this first so that I can see where I want to put the butterfly. And I'm going to pop that jewel right over the top of those dots and press down a little bit. You can do this before you adhere if you prefer. Might be a little easier for you. Next, then, I'm going to take my butterfly and decide where I'm going to place him. I like that, so I'm going to add some adhesive here in the center of my butterfly. Lay him down right on top. I want to make sure I'm allowing some of that designer series paper to show so that those pretty soft colors peek out. And finally, I'm going to add some jewels down the center of my butterfly. I'm going to take a small one and put it here on the head. And then I'm going to take one of the larger ones and put it in the center of the body. There we go. You could also add them to the little spots on his wings if you would prefer. Tuck that easel behind the Post-it note and you've got this beautiful little gift. If you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Ginny. Thanks for joining me.